What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Planetary Reviews, and I'm finally done with my review for Destiny 2. Sorry it took me so long. I just wanted to play this game a lot and really get my hands on it and really just delve deep into it and the end game stuff, so it took some time, and I apologize for it taking so long, but here's my opinion on it. Now, when I first went into Destiny 2, I had very low expectations because with Destiny 1, I was very hyped, I was very excited, but it didn't live up to the hype. It was very empty, not enough content in vanilla Destiny. They did make it get better as time went on, but I kind of dropped off right at the beginning after it was just so bland in the beginning. I just couldn't, I mean, if you like it, great. I'm glad you had a lot of fun, and I heard the DLC did make the first one better, but I just couldn't. I was just like, I was burned. So, when I went into Destiny 2, while I was excited to play it, I was still very cautious. But was it able to surprise me? And my answer is yes, in many ways it did, but then in other ways it kind of still, messed up in a couple things. But you know what, let's talk about the good first. The first thing you will notice in Destiny 2 immediately is the just attention to the narrative. Immediately, right from the get-go, they throw you into that famous opening from E3 that we got, where the tower is being attacked by the Cabal. Yeah, that is the way it opens up, so it immediately gives you that, but then since we've all seen that and played that in the beta, once you get past that, the story really begins to open up. You start to see a lot more detail into the world that you're in. You're starting to get more characterization just from the beginning. You meet people that you actually like, which is very cool. In the beginning of Destiny 1, I didn't feel that with anyone. In this one, I immediately went, wow, I like that character, and I like that character, and of course, Cade 6, played by Nathan Fillion, was awesome. He was a standout performance in this. And I gotta say, the story was really fun. It was really awesome. I like going through it. Another thing great about the story is that as you go through the story and you unlock different planets that you could go on to, there are these things called adventures that come, and they appear on the map, and they're little side quests pretty much. But the great thing about them, they don't just feel like they're tacked on. When I was playing them, I don't know if it affected the campaign, it probably didn't, but with the way they wrote the side quests and the dialogue and what you were doing, it really did feel like you were doing something very important for your side, for this battle against the Cabal. It was very, very good. I liked that, because every time I did the adventures, I felt good. I was like, yeah, I did that, I'm helping out the cause. Fantastic. That is awesome. Definitely gave me a lot of gameplay. It took me a while to beat this game single player. I did it all single player, by the way, for the most part. I think I did one mission with a friend, but pretty much the single player and the adventures, you could do all by yourself and have a fantastic time. I loved it. It took me a while, and I really got engrossed in this universe that they made because the story was more detailed and better performed. The cutscenes made me care about what was going on. Story was cool. Was it great? No, but it was still a push in the right direction. I was very happy. Also, when it comes to the lore, it's all in the game this time. There is no more of those cards. They have to go on to Bungie.net and read about the lore of the game. That takes you out of the immersion. In this one, it's in the game. You're constantly learning about what's going on in this world. You're constantly learning about what some of these races are and stuff like that. It gives you the lore right in the game, which is great. I just wish there was a codex in the game where you could at least, if you wanted to have the option to sit there and read some of the things you found out about the game, you could have it. There's sadly nothing like that in this game, but that's okay. Next thing I want to say, the graphics in this game are fantastic. Just like in the first one, I love the graphics. This one, they're pretty much the same. What made this game look a little bit better was maybe the lighting. I think they did better lighting in this game because, as we know, lighting does make a difference for a graphics engine, and it could really bring out better quality if you do the right lighting. And in this one, I think they improved on that, and the graphics are awesome. Also, it performed very well. I was playing it on the PS4 Pro, no stutter, felt great, loved it, great performance. After that, the gameplay in this game, always got to commend it. Bungie knows how to make a first-person shooter, and that is shown improved even more in this game. When you're shooting in this game, it feels great, whether you're shooting a pulse rifle, a scout rifle, a automatic rifle, a hand cannon, a sidearm, a rocket launcher. Every time you fire a gun in this game, it feels amazing. You feel the oomph, you feel the kill, you feel that like little high that you get, like, yeah, I got that kill, hell yeah. And it felt great. I love playing this game. It keeps me wanting to come back. The next thing I want to talk about is that, like I said, there are tons of side quests. After you beat the main story, don't worry, there's no spoilers in this. After you beat the main story, you get these little, like, quest things that are, like, specific to that planet. and you go back, and it's like kind of like telling you little missions that take place after the story that are like effects of what happened after you finish the game. And it's pretty cool. I actually cared about that as well. I went back and I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome. These are the consequences for what happened during the campaign. This is pretty awesome. Cool, more ways for me to play this game by myself and engross myself in the universe. Awesome. And then after that, like I said, there's no more lore cards, but the biggest improvement in my opinion also is the loot system. I felt like I was getting stuff throughout the entire campaign when I was playing by myself. I always felt rewarded. I didn't feel like, oh geez, I gotta sit here and do the same thing. No, I did not feel that throughout the entirety of the campaign, and for a long time I didn't feel that. I felt like I was constantly being rewarded, which is something a loot shooter like this really has to get right. You do not want to make them feel like it's a grind at the very beginning, and this game nails that. The RNG system is fantastic in the beginning. You're gonna love it. Not until you get to the later levels, like when you get to that cap of 265, it's gonna get a little tougher to find things, but even then, with the other activities to do, it helps to get a little bit better. The next thing I want to talk about, PvP. PvP is a very cool mode in this game. In the first one I thought it was fun, but in this one I feel like at first I didn't think I was gonna like it because of the 4v4 and not I believe it was 6v6, correct me if I'm wrong, but the 4v4 in this one feels a lot more concentrated and a lot more focused, and it doesn't feel like all this crazy stuff is happening around the entire map. It keeps it very intense with the 4v4 aspect. It's very teamwork heavy. If you have a squad with you, odds are if you're communicating and doing the right thing, you will win. It's intense and it's a lot of fun. I was having a lot of great times playing the PvP. I didn't think I would, but you also get some pretty awesome rewards for playing the PvP. So I had a lot of fun with that. Thought it was great. The connection was pretty good. I think I had like the occasional lag here and there because of the fact that they do not have dedicated servers in this one. They had that hybrid server thing that Call of Duty uses, which is okay, but why can't we have dedicated servers? I mean, come on guys, just go for that. You have a very popular game, you've made a lot of money, I'm sure you can afford to do dedicated servers. So the fact that it's not dedicated servers is just mind-boggling and annoying. And then the next thing, I gotta talk about the strikes, the Nightfall strikes, and the raid. Those modes are great endgame stuff. When you do the strikes, you have to work as a team and really try and focus and make your way through it. A normal strike isn't too bad. It's pretty fun. It's a pretty casual way to go. The Nightfalls, on the other hand, are a lot tougher. You're timed with 10 minutes, and occasionally as you're going through the level, you get these little rings that you can get more time from. But even though it's intense and more challenging, the timer really did get annoying. I understand you're trying to bring another element to make this a more challenging experience, but it's already challenging enough with how much damage the enemies do and everything. Why did you have to add the timer? I loved it when I could just take my time, immerse myself in the battles. Instead, we're sitting there missing all the enemies, trying to skip our way through it just to make this time. Wasn't really that fun, but the challenge was there, and I liked that. I didn't like the time. As for the raids, I did not personally get to experience the raid because I just don't have enough people to play this game. A lot of people, my friends, just aren't really big shooter fans, and they don't have, at least at the moment, they didn't have matchmaking for the raid, so I couldn't find just a random group of people that I could go in the game chat with and sit there and be like, hey guys, I'm new to this, I never did a raid before in Destiny 1, and you know, we could work together and do it. So I couldn't really tell you about that, but from what I've seen online and watching videos of how the raid is, very teamwork orientated. It's actually pretty interesting. You have a cool puzzle that you have to solve and try and figure out together. It's challenging as hell. You have to be the right light level, and it seems very intense, so that looks like a lot of fun. So those are all the things that I loved about Destiny 2. Excuse me. But let's talk about some of the negatives. Towards the end, that level, once you hit that light level 265, it does start to get a little grindy, but luckily with the way the game works, with all the different activities you can do to get more better loot, it does feel a little bit better. But if you're not a fan of like grinding, it might get a little tedious when you're trying to make it to like the 280s and stuff like that, so beware of that. The next thing I want to say, the enemies just weren't varied enough. There was pretty much the same enemies from the first game with a little bit more variety, but not too much. After a while, I just sat there and I was like, I didn't care who I was fighting. It was just all the same to me. So the enemies need more variety, maybe a little bit, maybe make their AI a little bit smarter and stuff like that. Because for the most part, the enemies aren't that great. I was like, okay, another this, another that. It felt like all the same. It just blended in all to the same thing. Next thing I want to say, as great as the campaign is and how much it is better than the first one, the ending to this one was a little dull. I sat there, I was like, oh man, this was a big fight, blah blah blah. I don't want to go into spoilers, but there was a big battle, and then it ended, and I was like, I was expecting a bigger impact. They do hint at another either expansion pack at the end of it or Destiny 3 or something, but for the most part, it was kind of dull, a little anticlimactic. I was expecting a little bit more with the type of quality I was getting throughout the campaign. The next thing, shaders being stuck behind the microtransaction. While you can find shaders, they are a limited number when you find them. So you do end up having to get lucky enough just to find the right amount of each shader that you like. And the only way you can get more of that is if you aren't afraid to pop out some money and pay for it through those bright engrams and stuff like that. I thought that was annoying. With shaders, I wish I could just find it and it's always there and I can always use it. The fact that if I want to keep more of the color that I love a lot, I have to sit there and dole out money just to get the color I like. It's a little annoying. It didn't really affect me too much, but it was a minor annoyance. I was like, ah, geez, I really like this color scheme, but I don't have enough of that color shader to keep going with it. Then after that, while the story is better, like I said, they did play it very safe. There wasn't a lot of things that I didn't see coming. There wasn't a lot of surprises. There weren't a lot of twists. It was just very straightforward, to the point, kind of predictable, but it was still good. But guys, at the end of the day, Destiny 2, was it better than Destiny 1? And was it able to live up to like such a high expectation? In my opinion, it is better than Destiny 1, vanilla Destiny 1, and I had a lot of fun with it. I do feel like people, if you felt like you were burned by Destiny 1, come back, play this one. I think you'll have a lot more fun with Destiny 2, just because of how much content and how much better story and just how much better quality this game is than the first game. Is this game perfect? No, there are some flaws to it. But you know what? I have to acknowledge and I have to really give them credit for listening to the feedback, really doing what they wanted to, what the fans wanted, making the game better. Just with the next game, if they make one, which they probably will, just go a little bit further so you could hit a higher ranking. Because at the end of the day, Destiny 2 gets a very solid B-. Guys, what do you think about Destiny 2? Did you like it better? Did you think it was worse? What are your opinions on it? Because in my opinion, Destiny 1 at vanilla Destiny 1 was around a C-, but vanilla Destiny 2 really propelled itself. I went a whole letter grade from C- to B-. I really enjoyed this game. I'm still gonna probably, once I'm done with this and editing this video, I'm probably gonna turn on Destiny 2 and play some more. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious. How much do you love this game? How much do you hate it? Let me know. As for my next video, guys, I'm going to be watching American Assassin tomorrow. There was no 7 o'clock showing tonight, unfortunately. So I'm going to be seeing it tomorrow, and then I'll have my review out tomorrow for that movie. And the next game I'm going to be reviewing is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I'm really curious to see if that game is going to be good or not. Who knows? I'll tell you when I get it. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.